Welcome back to Nohobee Movie Recap. Today, we are recapping the 2014 movie called The Addicted. Spoilers ahead. The story begins in the office of Dr. Spencer, a therapist. Zoe Reynard enters, noting that a friend recommended the doctor for her discretion. Dr. Spencer assures her of complete confidentiality. Zoe struggles to begin, admitting she is not a movie star, but eventually explains her reason for coming. She confesses that despite having a perfect life, she feels a persistent void that nothing seems to fill. Zoe narrates the details of this perfect life. She describes a wonderful home and the best family anyone could hope for. She shows a picture of her children, calling them the light of her life, funny and bright. She praises her mother, whose hugs can brighten dark days, and her husband Jason, whom she describes as every woman's dream, her first love, and her soulmate. Zoe arrives to compliments from her employee, Shane. She meets with her assistant and friend Brina, who jokes about demanding a raise. They discuss business strategy regarding Quentin Canosa, a reclusive artist who refuses to have his photo taken. Brina urges Zoe to license his work and bring in revenue so they can reinstate Mani Petty Fridays. Zoe visits Quentin Canosa's studio. She finds a man working and assumes he is an assistant, gushing about Canosa's genius. The man reveals he is actually Quentin Canosa, embarrassing Zoe. There is immediate chemistry. Zoe pitches her licensing agency, suggesting his art could inspire ad campaigns or clothing lines. Quentin dismisses the formality and invites her to his studio on Monday morning to discuss it further. Zoe attempts to be intimate with her husband, Jason, wearing lingerie to surprise him. However, Jason is buried in work for a civic center project and rejects her advances, promising to make it up to her later. Zoe feels neglected. Zoe goes to the grocery store but lingers in the parking lot. Her mother calls, asking if she needs anything. Zoe claims she is getting cookie dough ice cream, using it as a cover story. In reality, she engages in a sexual encounter with a stranger, describing it as the first step down a terrible path. The next morning, Jason surprises Zoe with breakfast in bed. He is loving and attentive, taking the kids to school so she can rest. Zoe feels guilty as she watches him leave, realizing that her love for him is somehow not enough to satisfy her physical needs. Zoe explains to Dr. Spencer that she has always needed more physically. She admits she and Jason have sex frequently, yet she remains unsatisfied. She fears telling him would make her look like a freak. Zoe returns to Quentin's studio to sign him as a client. Quentin reveals he chose her agency because he wants to paint her. He expresses a desire to hang her portrait over his bed to satisfy himself when she isn't there. Zoe initially resists, citing her marriage, but eventually succumbs to the attraction. They have sex in the studio. Brina buzzes Zoe with urgent news. Balthazar Crane, a major investor, is on the line. Zoe, overwhelmed and feeling unwell after her infidelity, refuses to take the call and goes home early, leaving Brina to handle the potential life-changing deal. Zoe arrives home to find her mother and children. Her son asks why she missed his game. Zoe lies, claiming she had a bad headache and came home early to rest. She promises not to miss the next one. Zoe visits Quentin again and meets a woman named Diamond who warns her that Quentin is sensitive. Later, Quentin takes Zoe to a private space to show her a sculpture he started at age 11. He reveals his tragic backstory. His mother ran off with another man, which led his father to commit suicide. This vulnerability draws Zoe in deeper. Zoe rushes to a dinner meeting with Balthazar Crane, but she is extremely late because she was with Quentin. Balthazar is leaving as she arrives. He dismisses her apologies, stating he is on a red-eye to Paris, and the opportunity is lost. Quentin paints Zoe in his studio. She notices portraits of other women and feels jealous. Quentin tells her she belongs there with him, claiming no one else sees her soul the way he does. Zoe arrives late to her son's soccer game. He points out she has blue paint in her hair. She plays it off as an occupational hazard, but the visual evidence of her double life is becoming harder to hide. Dr. Spencer diagnoses Zoe with sexual addiction, explaining that sex can be as powerful a narcotic as heroin. She advises Zoe to suggest couples counseling to Jason to signal there is a problem without fully confessing the affair yet. Zoe tries to talk to Jason about seeing a professional for their sex life. Jason becomes defensive, calling therapists crooks and refusing to let a stranger into their personal affairs. He dismisses her concerns, suggesting a nice dinner instead. Quentin demands that Zoe leave Jason to be with him. Zoe refuses, stating Jason is her life. Quentin feels betrayed, arguing that if she loved Jason, she wouldn't be with him every day. Zoe seeks an escape with a stranger named Corey in a hotel room. She narrates that she enjoyed every minute of it, highlighting the severity of her addiction. Brina confronts Zoe about the company's failing finances and angry clients. But then, when she goes back to Quentin's studio, she finds him having an affair. He causes a scene, insulting Zoe and demanding to know what she expects him to do while she goes home to her husband. Zoe returns to the hotel and engages in rough, choking sex with the stranger to numb her pain. Zoe returns home. Jason confronts her about missing soccer games and her secretive behavior. He dumps the contents of her bag on the bed, revealing a second cell phone and a box of condoms. Zoe tries to lie, claiming she stopped taking the pill, but Jason is devastated, demanding his wife back. Jason introduces himself, unaware of the affair. Quentin makes veiled comments about Zoe having a great eye, and suggests she could make a mint off his work. The tension is palpable. Zoe's family prepares for a movie night. Zoe opts out, giving her ticket to her mother so she can sneak away to see Quentin. Her daughter is visibly disappointed. In therapy, Dr. Spencer presses Zoe about her childhood in Dallas. Zoe becomes defensive, claiming she remembers nothing. Frustrated by the lack of a pill to fix her, Zoe quits therapy, storming out when Dr. Spencer warns her that she cannot run from her past. A package arrives at Zoe's house from Quentin, the family sculpture. It includes a note referencing Jason. Jason sees the sculpture and the note, and the pieces finally click into place. Zoe goes to Quentin's studio to end the affair. Quentin refuses to let her go, becoming violent and hitting her. He threatens that her last thoughts will be of him. Jason bursts in, having followed her. Jason refuses to listen to Zoe's apologies. He calls her a liar and a cheater who put their children in danger. He tells her she is dead to him and that she won't get the kids. Zoe drives away in a panic. Her internal monologue reflects her despair. Zoe survives and enters rehab. Brina visits her, pushing her to stop the pity party and return to work. Zoe eventually attends a support group where Jason is present. She stands up and confesses that she is a sex addict. She reveals the root of her trauma. She was raped by 3 boys when she was 10. She expresses her love for Jason and her desire to heal. Jason, moved by the truth, reconciles with her. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the recap, don't forget to like, leave a comment and subscribe for more videos like this.